This is my trading views chart on Super Macro Computer, SMCI. I pay some extra for it, and I belong to their premium program to get these additional boiler bands and resistance lines and support lines into it. I believe that the market is going to give us a 10 to 20% correction over the next 30 to 60 days. And so I put stop loss orders in, basically to say, if the price goes down 5%, get me out. Well, I was stopped out last week. Right about there. And what I watch is this line down here. This is relative strength index. And whenever it gets up to this line here, about the, what is that, the 71 or 70% mark, it's going to, for the most part, it's going to correct. You can look back and see that. There it is up there. What happened? It went down, and it came down substantially. Here again, gets up about that 70 line, and it comes down. So I knew it was going to stop out. So what I then want to know is, where do I put my buy back? Because I'm convinced Super Macro is going to be a big player in the next 3 to 5 years, and actually the rest of this year. And where I want to buy is where I find that Wall Street wants to buy. And Wall Street usually wants to buy on this, and that's what this line is. This is a support level. Artificial intelligence scans the buy-sell orders and sees that there's a lot of buy orders down here around $228. Well, that little line right there appeared today. And I know that because I come to these charts every day to see where are the buy orders coming. Well, Wall Street put a buy order in on, and when I say Wall Street, I'm talking about the hedge funds and whomever, at about $250 a share. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to see this line in the relative strength start coming down and coming close to this bottom line. And as you can see, when it does, what happens? It turns around and goes back up. Okay? If you know that Super Macro is the major producer of the computers that are now going into the centers, you know they're going to have a good business. What you don't know is what the market is doing with you. Remember, they made a lot of money. They rode this thing all the way up, particularly in the Magnificent Seven, until December the 31st, and said, okay, we'll collect our 2 and 20. You know, that's how a hedge fund works. They charge you a 2% management fee and 20% of what you make. Well, they shut their books down on December the 31st. They locked in their 20%, and then they take it down to where it really should be as we move forward, with a disappointment maybe in interest rates or whatever, or conflict in China or Israel, whatever. There's all kinds of reasons for this 20% correction. And we just established where Wall Street wants to buy back in. So I've got an order. I sold all of my shares. I got an order now in at 250 on Super Macro. But that's not NVIDIA. Right after this, I'll show you what exactly I discovered with NVIDIA and where the buy-in is on that.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
Okay, this is NVIDIA, and again, I got stopped out on NVIDIA yesterday, or actually this morning. It was a combination of this and this that took me out this morning. But what I wanted to show you is that just showed up yesterday, okay? That, again, is the support level. So based on what I've seen, the support level was way down here at 395. And then, as I say, I got stopped out, and this appeared just the last 2 days. And so, again, to reiterate, what that is the Wall Street entering their buy orders, and they're saying we want to buy NVIDIA back at about $450, $448 a share. Now, again, and look how NVIDIA confirmed this resistance level, not one, two, three, four, five times. Five times it told the market, we're not going any higher than 500 and what was it, 503, $500 a share. But it now is telling us we're going to come down, we believe, to about 450. If we go below that, we'll fill this gap at 425. And if we do that, we'll go below the 200-day moving average to 381. So I was stopped out of 80%, which are 80 shares. So that was all of my NVIDIA. So I've put in an order for 40 of those shares at 450. And if I pick them up, great, because I know NVIDIA is eventually going to go substantially above $500 because of the fundamental work that I've done, because of the work that I've shown you. Well, here, I'll take you and show you on my cheat sheet. Here's NVIDIA. As I said, I've got order in for 40 shares at 450. I and the Wall Street analysts that I follow believe it's going to go as high as $648, whereas the tech, and that was the resistance level, is at 507. So I take an average of those two and say if I can get it at my 450, I'll make 28% on NVIDIA this year. So let's go back to the chart, and we can see NVIDIA again does exactly as I said. All you have to do is follow this this line down here, the RSI, Relative Strength Index, and you can see when it gets up above 70, NVIDIA usually, or all stocks, they hit that level and then they turn and they correct, okay? There again, it hit the support level that just really actually appeared today, and then it went up, and again it got up. And let's go back and see. Okay, there, it's way over. What happened? It turned, and it went down. And then what happened? It got up here again, and it turned, and it went down. And when it gets down near the bottom here, near 30, it turns around and it goes back up. So if you watch the relative strength and then you put that in position against your financial analysis, you can get a good handle on where these stocks are going. That's what I try to do, and that's what I share with you on my cheat sheet on my website. I do it for, I think I've got about, 37 stocks here right now that I track on an active basis. And I give you a target price of where I believe the buy-in price is. And then I support it with the earnings per share growth. That's what this is all about. It's not revenues and it's not earnings, because they can be manipulated. I can be a company and have a $2 billion market cap and go out and buy my biggest competition by issuing more shares and diluting my shares and doubling my earnings and doubling my revenues, but you just got your shares cut in half, so there is no gain for you. No, it's earnings per share. So when I look at Advanced Micro Devices, and they tell me that their earnings per share in 23 was 53 cents per share, and they're projecting that it's going to be $1.96. That's a 270% increase in their earnings per share. And then they come back with 2025, and it's about a 60%. Well, that's going to be a stock we want to own. So let's look at that on the chart. Well, AMD tells us the same thing. When you get the relative strength up above this 70 mark, it's going to correct. And it did just that. And you can see with the turning of the new year, it's coming down. Here's its 200-day. Here's its 50. Here's where Wall Street thinks it's going to go, to 93. I don't think it'll go to 93. I suspect sometime in the next couple days, I'm going to see a blue line appear either there or there. Okay, and the second one is right at its 200-day moving average. But all I got to do is watch this. Okay, and if it comes down here, it'll turn around. How do I know that? All I got to do is go back right there. There it did it. Okay, it came down, got within close to the 30 mark, hit the support level. Actually, it went to there. We waited a few days. It went a little lower, but that it telegraphs it to you. If you know it's a good company, if you know it's in good financial shape, and if you confirm it by going to Wall Street analysts and getting their information and then interpreting it, and then just put in your stop loss order. I got stopped out right there. That's okay. I made all this profit. Okay. Now I'm going to just let Wall Street bring it down to here, and I'll buy it back in. All right. Taxes, we'll deal with that on another level. All right. That's how I manage my portfolio. And I want to share it with you. I don't want to just come on here and say, oh, what's the next NVIDIA? Let's let the market work for us rather than let the market take all our money. All right? Kerry, I'm a retired financial advisor. This is what I do. I share all this on my website, Best of Us Investors. If you'd like to make money in 2024, come join us and we'll do this together.